December 20th, lesson plan for Luke chapter 3. This looks great. The one thing I would have you to be cognizant of in beginning this whole thing is the fact that this is the last lesson plan before Christmas, and it is the last Sunday school before a 3-week break. And so this is similar to Kelly's situation where she has the last lesson plan in March before Easter and a 4-week break. And so what I encouraged her to do and what I would encourage you to do as well is to take this lesson plan and write it. Take what you have, it's awesome, but also in your questions, consider twisting your questions to look a little bit more forward towards actual Christmas morning, to get kids discussing that for this Sunday school lesson because it's the last one they'll have before Christmas. With that being said, this lesson plan is really great in its specific look at the actual passage from Luke 3. John the Baptist is a crazy guy, and so you're right to begin by talking about how he shocks the crowd here. He is the shock troops that go before Jesus' birth, and so everything he says is intensified and passionate and stirring. Also, good point to bring up the fact that people were awaiting the Messiah here, and the identity of what that Messiah and the expectations of it. Right here, the promise of Abraham without the faith of Abraham simply doesn't work. This is a really great point to make. I would probably, after that, take this paragraph and maybe just break it down to a couple more sentences and not go too in depth, because that is a steep and winding road to go down. So I wouldn't put too much in that. I would probably make it a kind of pretty simple and self-contained just synopsis of the fact that the Abrahamic faith has fulfilled its promise and its generational promise, like is pointed out, but also the fact that it's bringing us to Jesus, but Jesus isn't really stopping it as much as he's actually bringing it to its culmination. So don't be supersessionist about it. Just make it clearly the fact that Jesus is a continuation of it, and then just move along. But it doesn't need to be a huge part of the lesson. John's 3-part message about response. That's exactly what I think it should be the main focus. It's great stuff. You have different people asking the same question, what then should we do? And he responds with just these super straightforward, ethical kind of normative imperatives for the people. And you can apply this directly to the fact that Advent is a season of preparation. And the question that is put to us because of that is, what should we be doing to prepare? Okay, that's what these people are asking here. That's what we should be asking as well. Baptism in water is one of urgency, but then we have baptism in fire. That's good. Don't need to go too much into that without sounding like you're writing a lesson for Pentecost. This is strong. I might revisit this and think of how to word it differently, although the winnowing fork is a winnowing fork, but the verb discarded here is strong. I see the discussion in response to this question as being like, well, that's rude, so I don't know what you want to do with that. I'll leave that to you. This also is a question that's like interesting, and also it could either go into a full-blown discussion, or like with your high school kids probably, or it could just kind of be like what. But this is where I really think, again, that the discussion should hinge on, like I noted here, preparation is the doing, and people considering their invitation to prepare for Advent and all that means. All of this is great. I would also think back about your December 13th lesson about the herald. I would maybe even spring off of that and just add one of the questions in here, maybe in place of A or B here, and just put a question that builds upon the Herald discussion of the Herald from last time, because it was so great. You talk about the role of the Herald and what they do and how they prepare, and here you're finding that John is the Herald, and so you really get to see that. Otherwise, this is a great lesson plan. Really like it. This is going to be a really great way to bring the kids into Christmas Day, and looking forward to finalizing it.